Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Minecraft Let's Play. My name of course is System Z, and you already know what we're gonna be doing today. That's right, we are going to be working on the island. Nothing new, it's what we've been working on over the past couple of episodes. However, as you can see, I have made a lot of progress. Not only do we just have this island here, but this cow right here, my partner in crime here, see, he has the shovel. He's been doing a lot of, no, it's all been me. He hasn't done anything. But yeah, we've got a lot of progress to look at here. As you can see, I've actually got the islands kind of built up a little bit. So now we actually need to start working on the river and the actual landscaping, which I gotta be honest, I'm a little terrified because if we go up here, it's a very, very messy build overall. It's definitely not clean. And it looks really just way too smooth. It doesn't look quite how I'd like it to look yet. So there's still a lot of work to be done, but I have definitely made a lot of progress. But guys, before we get into the episode, I just gotta say thank you very much for tuning in today. If you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more building related content and live streams every weekday at 5 p.m. Central Time. And really quickly, I've gotta say, I want to talk about something really quickly before we get into it. I just recently got the join button added to my YouTube channel, which is essentially a system where you can sponsor the channel and gain access to things. I just wanted to let you guys know what that is in case you see it and wonder for yourself. Essentially, if you do join the channel, it's $5 a month and you get access to my Minecraft server, my Discord server, and a couple of other things. And it's mainly for the live streaming audience, but it is now available throughout YouTube as a whole. So if you see that join button, go ahead and feel free to click it for more information. But I just wanted to let you guys know what that is. And while you're at it, make sure to like the video. Alright, so I've got to admit, I'm really excited because I have not yet updated this map, and I'm not going to until we get the rivers done. I want to see a lot of progress happen all at once, and whenever we change this over, it's going to be very dramatic because this is definitely not what it looks like now. You can see all the edges to the hills that used to be there, so now we've actually got custom lands, and I've even changed the shape of the actual island, so we've got a little bit more to go, but hopefully, if not this episode, in the next episode, we will see this updated. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple blocks. My plan for today is work on this area, because this area is technically done and ready for the actual river. But first, we need to do a little bit of work up in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some stuff together, and we're going to go ahead and get started. We finally got scaffolding. I could not be any happier. The snapshot days are always my favorite. Scaffolding is the best new block in the world, and we finally have it along with bamboo. It's just everything's perfect and amazing, and it's definitely not laggy at all. That was definitely a nightmare, not a dream. We don't have it yet. Guys, the snapshots are too buggy to use, and I don't like it. I really want to use all the new blocks, but I can't. So I just have to dream about it for now. Alright, so I've got a beacon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that little thing there. I've got my beacon now. I don't know if we're going to need it, but what we need to do now is work on this area. As you can see, I've got some cobblestone kind of laying out exactly where the shore needs to be. But I kind of messed up. I realized that this is totally unnecessary. So we're going to have to basically chop all of this away and try and smooth it out a little bit more and make the island kind of end a little bit here and make the river actually connect to the ocean in this spot. So we've got a lot of work to do, so we may as well go ahead and get started. And a lot of this doesn't really need to be shown, to be honest, on camera, because it's really just excavating a lot of land, and that's not something particularly interesting. But I do want to use this moment to just kind of talk about the new blocks that are coming to the game. And seeing as we can't really have them yet because the snapshots are so buggy, we can at least talk about it. So I recently did a video called Underground Villages in Minecraft 1.14, kind of a cool concept for what I'd like to see in the next update, and a lot of people seem to have liked it, so I feel like a lot of my ideas tend to get favored by a lot of people. I don't know what it is. I just have a knack for predicting cool things in the game. Not that any of them really ever get in. In fact, I don't think any suggestion I've ever made has really made it in the game. I'm still waiting for apples on trees, but I'll tell you what, regardless, they are definitely doing a good job with the current snapshots. I mean, honestly, like, we've got 40 new blocks just with the first snapshot, and then we've already got custom crafting that's coming to the game. Scaffolding, bamboo, more mobs, everything that's part of Minecraft is currently being updated. And I think this is the first time we've ever really seen that, which is incredibly awesome. So let me know in the comments down below what your favorite feature that's coming to 1.14 is, and what you'd also like to see that hasn't already been announced. Alright, I think we've got a pretty good shape now for the shore of each island, and yeah, except for that one. That one's not the greatest. We can definitely fix that one up in a little bit, but as far as where the actual river is going to connect to the ocean, I feel like that's a really, really good shape. It just needs to be smoothed out a little bit right there, but overall, it's definitely there. So what I need to do now is actually start working on digging out the canal that the river is going to go through, and how it connects, and how deep it actually is going to be, so that way we can actually, you know, do proper detailing and all that good stuff. And overall, I wanted to go ahead and say today's episode probably won't be seeing much progress overall. We're really just going to be experimenting with a couple of things. Oh, a dolphin. I always love seeing those into the distance. But as you can see, the water is not deep at all over here. It's really shallow, so we're also going to have to do some underwater landscaping. It's going to be a little tough, but for now, I just want to at least get the river actually connected right here. And I don't know that we're actually going to finish the river today, but for now, what I need to do is go ahead and just start digging it out and just trying to figure it out from there. Alright, so I'm making a little bit of progress. I'm pretty happy with so far. Just kind of doing this little technique here where I use the offhand to place. I'm an ultimate Minecrafting pro. I only just now recently learned how to do this. But as you can see, I've got it kind of working. I mean, it's definitely getting there. It's going to take a little bit more time, but I don't want to go all the way through like I did say, so I'm just going to kind of stop for here right now. But basically, I'm just going through and replacing all the stone because obviously we don't want stone showing in our river. But I started thinking, what exactly do we want to make the river out of? Does it need to be sand to follow the seashore? Because I do want to kind of keep this. I feel like this is one of those staple looks to Minecraft that's very important with the sandy shores. We don't necessarily have to make it dirt, so if that's wrapping inwards, would it also be sand inside of the river, or do we have it kind of blend in and turn into dirt? I'm thinking blend in. That probably makes a little bit more sense. I don't know, something about sand nearby farmland just doesn't really make sense to me, but that's probably just my own opinion. So let me know in the comments what you think. I can always go back and change it, because like I said, we're only working on this area here. But now what I need to do is just kind of start filling it in, but for now I just need to keep changing these blocks over to dirt, and then we'll be able to do that. So I'm running out of inventory space quite frequently, I've noticed, and I started thinking I'd really like to be able to get shulker boxes and use them kind of out while we are building to store items, because as of right now I just continually run out of space and I don't really want to waste any items. So I need to know, do you guys think it would be okay if I use a data pack to change the loot of a shulker box and what they drop? The shulker mobs don't drop but maybe one shulker shell at a time, and I just don't feel like that's really that great. It's really hard to get a lot of shulker shells because of that. So would you guys mind if I change the loot tables? Either way, I think next episode we're probably going to make a quick run over to the end and try and grab some shulker shells, because I really, really want them, if I'm being honest. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and clear out my inventory, grab some water, and then we'll start filling this river in. And now we can go ahead and start filling in the water. The only thing I just realized, though, is that we're actually doing it on the wrong level. As you can see, the water is one block above. And I don't really want there to be any lack of water in any level in the actual water, because obviously if we have horses over here, they would drown. So I definitely want to make sure that this is a proper ocean. I don't know if the water would just flow down or not, so I'm going to go ahead and do this level first, and then we can work our way up. We're also going to have to replace the grass, because I don't believe grass actually transforms into dirt if it's underwater. I think you have to do it manually. So once we get all that done, we can go ahead and start with the decorations, but I'm thinking we can experiment with either different types of rocks or different types of trees, for example, or B, just the actual slopes and different details we can do alongside, because the actual farmland is going to be raised up a little bit here. The actual river doesn't really have much importance as far as the detail goes, so I'm not too worried about it. It's really all the landscaping around it that matters, so I really want to make sure that this area is done correctly. So let me just go ahead and get the water filled in, try and fix up a little bit more, and we're going to go ahead and get started with the actual detailing and experimentation. Water has been placed, and now we can go ahead and get started with some of the detailing. But first, I've got an idea, and I really probably don't need this, But as you can see, I've got some clay in my inventory. I have been smelting any clay that I get lately so that I can use it for things like flower pots and bricks lately, and I always have to go down here in order to do it. Ow, that hurt a little bit. What if we set up another line of hoppers from the very top floor connecting to that particular hopper? That sounds difficult, but it probably would work. I just need to grab some hoppers first. I think I'm gonna do this, honestly. It feels like it'd be very useful. I believe it's working now. All I've got to do now is find my miscellaneous shulker box. There we go. Grab one singular item frame and just do the decoration. I basically just ran the hoppers all the way through the back, to the side, and right directly into this shulker box underground with the hoppers. So hopefully it works. I haven't tested it, but I do believe it does. And if it doesn't, I'm going to be severely disappointed in myself because it's really not that hard to connect hoppers, in all honesty. And oh man, I do need to plug that back up as well. Let me go ahead and do that. I need to make a proper entrance down into the aquarium, but I have yet to do that. So now we need to go ahead and craft a singular furnace just for decoration purposes. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to copy the same design that we've done for these and just kind of change it up based on what this is, which is the entry point to the furnace. So we're just going to do this here. Boom. Item frame. Well, bang. And then a furnace. Well, pow. Look at that. So now we have a proper entrance. I just need to test it. So I'm going to put some cobblestone in there. And while we wait, let's go down to the second layer. You can see I've gone ahead and covered this up as well. I threw a stake down, though, on accident. And it seems the dolphins just really want it. And something over there as well. They're fighting over something. But if we go over here, this should actually work momentarily. And if not, like I said, I will be severely disappointed in myself. I guess we could technically go down below and look at it. There we go. And I do know it's working. As you can hear, it is working successfully. Just takes a little bit of time to actually get down here to the system. So I'm really, really happy to finally have a connection point up there for the furnace, because I always have to jump all the way down just to smelt something. So this is very, very nice, and hopefully fits in with everything up there. So now all I need to do is just grab some stone and materials, and we can go ahead and start building. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. Oh gosh, we're going down. Oh, okay, yep, I don't know how to land this thing. So we are now going to go ahead and start practicing with some different decorations and different detail. I realize that this is totally smooth, and that's not what we want. It just looks way too predictable and too perfect, and that's not really natural to both Minecraft and real life. We wouldn't really have this perfectly sloping rolling land. It really needs to be broken up quite a bit, so almost in the form of erosion and different types of geography terms. We're gonna build up some boulders and hopefully add some trees and just experiment with a couple of things, starting right here with a bunch of stone. So I'm gonna go ahead and start building just a random block. I mean, it's genuinely just gonna be a random stone cube. I'm gonna make sure to replace the dirt in the correct spaces. This is supposed to look like it's kind of coming up out of the ground, and it definitely is going to help, I feel like, but it's going to take a little bit of time to make it really look natural, because obviously we're going to have to do these in quite often spaces around the place. Otherwise, doing it right here alone would look pretty weird. So normally for rocks, I do this here. I'll always just kind of get a piece of andesite and go ahead and put it one block in the ground like this. Go ahead and grab a slab and put some stairs kind of on the sides. Now, obviously, in the next snapshot, we're getting andesite and stone stairs and slabs. I just cannot wait for that. I mean, this looks all right, but it could definitely look better. This is what I normally do, though, for rocks, and that's fine, it works, but I kind of want to go a little bit bigger and actually do boulders, and that's not something I've ever really done before. So it's all about the organics. You just have to experiment with different shapes and different sizes until you come up with something that you're happy with. So we've got a lot of room to play here until we find out something that we actually do like out of this. So it's really just about the experimentation, and I actually kind of like what it's doing already. So let's go ahead and get a view from above and just kind of see what it looks like here. I kind of want to make it a little bit more wide on this side, so I'm probably going to have to work out the shape a little bit more there. This is why scaffolding would be really nice, but only in our dreams will we ever get it, until the snapshots are no longer buggy. But for now, I'll use dirt. That's the shape that I've got, looking pretty good. Now what I need to do is go ahead and start mixing in some andesite like I normally would for a normal stone, so that's not really a hard process. Although, because of haste, I do have quite the speed here, so I might want to go disable that beacon really quickly. There we go, and I'll grab the iron blocks in another time. But yeah, so now we need to go ahead and mix in different andesite kind of all over the place, just to give it a texture that's not normal to stone itself. It's going to make it look a little bit more rocky, or even just a little bit more aged, which I think really fits in with these types of builds. So that's kind of the next step. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and start adding some more details with, you know, different slab and stair blocks. And that's going to have to be cobblestone, unfortunately. Like, I really just want the new blocks by now. And I've tried countless times to use this world in a snapshot. It's just too buggy. I just can't wait, honestly. 1.14 is going to be good. I've been talking about it nonstop, and I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing about it. But what can I say? I'm a builder, and it's a great building update. Looking good, looking good. It looks a little messy, but that'll actually blend in a lot better once we have surrounding boulders and, you know, trees and different things. Now what I want to do is start mixing in some coarse dirt. But you know what, guys? I am basically going to keep doing this if I don't stop myself, where I just show you guys each step. So I think what I'm going to do, since we're kind of so far in the episode already, is go ahead and just do a couple of things around the place. And hopefully that'll help it look a little bit better. I'm going to mix in some coarse dirt, probably add a couple of stone spikes going through the water a little bit to break up the river just a tad bit. And see if I can't, you know, fix up the land just a little bit more. And what I want to say before I do that, though, is like I said earlier in the episode, I don't know if I want to do sandy shores or not. So please let me know. That's why I'm not doing this on that side yet. I'm really only going to work on this side for now. I just don't feel like this would really work well with sand. So that's the main issue. But again, sand really does look natural in a Minecraft setting. So I feel like that definitely would be worth a consideration. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and go around, do this kind of stuff, add in some coarse dirt and path blocks to just kind of get a nice flow of water in there. I never noticed that. Wow. I was wondering if the water would peek over the edge, but it doesn't. That's really cool. It's like one little pixel of a block lower than a path block. That's really, really interesting. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get some progress done, and I'll see you guys after I've done a couple of things. So I think I finally have a couple of decorations that'll really help out with the landscaping. I've been having some trouble, honestly, coming up with ways to make this land look a little bit more interesting, but I think I did find a good way. I just wanted to go ahead and get rid of the beacon so it doesn't, you know, interrupt any of our views. But right now, I've really only got an example of what I'll be building, but we've really got to do a lot of work before I can do it all over the place. I've got to start doing pathways, start marking out exactly where we're going to be building certain structures, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but let me know in the comments if you guys have any ideas for how I can really make this land look interesting, because there's a lot of things that I'm going to do, but I think there's definitely a lot of things that I haven't really thought about doing that'll really help out. But once we actually get to the farmland, it's going to make this area look really, really cool. But I'm trying to keep it from view as hard as I can while I'm getting rid of this, but we can go ahead and turn around in just a second. It's really nothing crazy, but I am pretty happy with the way it's looking so far. And again, once we do it all over the place, it will look a lot better. So now that we are finally done with the beacon and getting rid of it, there we go. Let's collect the iron. Don't want that go to waste, other than the fact that we do actually have a farm for this stuff. So I guess it wouldn't matter. So this is exactly what I have done in my spare time. This is what I've been working on over the past hour, and that's sad. There's really not much to show for an hour, but I really wanted to make sure it looked good. I just spent a lot of time kind of planning out how exactly this might feel as an environment. Obviously, we've got some fish over there which have made their way from the sea, which is really, really cool. But this is supposed to be just a very basic deciduous tree. I looked up farmland and what types of trees might be there, and this was the closest match to it. So I wanted to go ahead and experiment with this. This is actually inspired by another builder and a friend of Pearlescent Moon, Gemini Tay. I found her YouTube channel recently, and she does really, really good trees, so this is heavily inspired by her trees. I wanted to experiment with the branching techniques and try and make it look really good there, but even so, I don't really know if it matches this area, but that's probably just because we don't have many of these types of trees around anyways. But as you can see, we've got some very basic boulders kind of splashed around the place. I've also got one hidden behind this one here. I've even got one spiking out of the water, and that's going to really help out with breaking up the river and make it look a little bit more natural. But overall, everything adds up to this one image, and honestly, I really like the way it looks. I mean, look at that. That's probably the thumbnail for this video. It looks really good, admittedly. I do like the seagrass as well. It's been really fun experimenting with these blocks. I've also managed to get some concrete powder kind of splashed around the place. Love the way that looks. But ultimately, these are my ideas for how I can make the river and the actual landscaping look a little bit better. But obviously, once we actually start doing the farmland, it's going to look a little bit better. But we've got a lot of stuff we've got to do before that. I think next episode is going to be all about planning out where the structures are going to go, as well as the pathways. So until then, I'm probably going to be cleaning up the river and actually get it installed in the first place, just so that way everything's looking good. But guys, I really need you to let me know in the comments down below, should we do sandy shores or should we do this kind of stuff? I feel like this is going to make a little bit more sense. I don't really feel like sand belongs in this type of area, so hopefully I'm not wrong in that. Just let me know in the comments below. I like this spot so much that I'm going to use it as the outro of this video. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Minecraft Let's Play. If you have, make sure to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more building related content and live streams every weekday at 5 p.m. Central Time. Guys, that is going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. My name has been System Z. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.